First Dam Center Court, the daughter of Smart Strike. She was a Grade 1 winner during her racing career. She won the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley, continued to remain at a mile plus, that she's just going to continue to excel and be even better than what she was when going 5.5 furlongs. A good price on a filly that certainly is good enough to win here. That is NAVRATILOVA. And then finally, my third choice is the even money favorite, AINT Pearl. We showed back her debut race this morning on Today at Keeneland, and it couldn't have been any easier. Bottom line, this Lope de Vega filly was purchased for over $360,000 in Europe. She's got quite the team behind her with Brad Cox, Florent Giroux. She's going to have to run faster. That's the bottom line, because she's going to be facing off against better horses. Oftentimes, when you have situations like this with fillies that can do, at fillies or young horses, period, that do something so easily first time out, perhaps a little shell shock is involved the second time out because they have to step up their game. Will she? You've got to think that she will. 6-5 seems a bit short. That's why I'm going to these other horses in here that have a lot of upside. And in fact, looking at this race, I know we're well beyond the start of the late pick 4. I thought you could make an easy case for 7 horses in here. A lot of these fillies coming off of impressive debuts. They're going to have to step up their game. You've got to think that at least a few of these fillies will earn a ticket to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, even with a runner-up or third-place finish, given the depth of this field. But we do know one thing. You win, you're into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf here if you take the Grade 2 JP Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes, which will get underway in just 14 minutes.
Horses are entering the track for Keeneland's 7th and featured race, 30th running of the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes, Grade 2, and a win in year end for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf Division. Mile and a 16th over the firm turf. Starts the last of the day's rolling doubles. No carryover for the Super High 5 jackpot. Overweight, the one, Bataya, the jockey, 1 pound over. Post time at 5 minutes. Here's the post parade for the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine. 1 Bataya, owned by Earl Mack LLC of Earl Mack, trained by Graham Motion. David Cohen is up. 2 Momentous Miss, owned by Sally Thomas and Olga Payne, trained by B.G. Hughes with James Graham, the jockey. 3 Taylor's Tourist, owned by Mark Norman, trained by Scott Gellner. Robbie Alvarado to ride. 4 Beautiful Star, owned by Ben and Sheila Rollins, trained by Steve Asmussen, Adam Beschitza, the jockey. 5 is Ingrassia, owned by Don Alberto Stable of Carlos Heller, trained by Chad Brown, jockey, Javier Castellano. 6 Arm Candy, owned by Bradley Thoroughbreds of Pete Bradley, by Tim and Anna Cambron, and Kurtz Equine Investments of Keith Kurtz, trained by Steve Asmussen, Ricardo Santana Jr. to ride. 7 Aunt Pearl, owned by the Madaket Stables of Saul Kuman and Jason Monteleone, by Michael Dubb, owned also by Michael Kisber, Peter Deutsch, the Elkstone Group LLC of Stuart Grant. The trainer is Brad Cox. The jockey is Florent Giroux. 8 Navratilova, owned by G. Watts Humphrey Jr., the trainer Rusty Arnold, the jockey Julien Leperoux. 9 Gambling Cat, owned by Rapoli Stable of Mike Rapoli, trained by Mike Maker, the jockey Corey Lannery. 10 Spanish Love Affair, owned by Michael Hernan, Gary Barber, and Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners of Aaron Wellman, trained by Mark Cassie, the jockey Tyler Gaffalione. 11 is Lazy Summer Day, owned by the Fern Circle Stables of Paul Fireman, owned also by Brereton Jones, trained by Kenny McPeak, jockey Brian Hernandez Jr. Post time, 3 minutes.
Four minutes away from the Grade 2 J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes, a winner you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, and we start with the favorite. That is Aunt Pearl for Madaket Stable, Michael Dubb, Brad Cox, the Lope de Vega filly, and really an elegant-looking filly. You can see why they paid well over $360,000 for her over in Europe. And off of that debut victory, a lot of upside here, 8-5 on this filly, based on the way that she was geared down. And she's really been an absolute pro since coming out onto the track right now for her warm-up. And so have all of these fillies as they prepare for the biggest tests of their career, their young careers, with such bright futures ahead for so many of these horses. One filly that really did catch my eye from a looks perspective was the 6 Arm Candy for trainer Steve Asmussen. She was an impressive winner at Kentucky Downs first time out. She's a daughter of Twirling Candy. She's 1 for 1. She broke from the rail and was able to pull off the victory there coming from off the pace at Kentucky Downs. She really is a good-looking filly. Hopefully you'll get a chance to see her as she continues to warm up on that far turn, coming back the right way at this point right now. But she's a filly that you've got to respect based on looks and based on that career debut, which was so good. And like I said before, so many of these fillies in here have the same sort of look as far as their impressive debut victories, and all have justified the fact that they're in this Grade 2 race and looking to get to the biggest stage. And that stage being the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf on Future Stars Friday. There's a look at the 8-horse NAVRATILOVA. Boy, is she a blue blood. As mentioned before, she's by one of the top stallions here in Central Kentucky, Medaglia d'Oro. She comes from the Grade 1 winning First Dam Center Court, who won the Jenny Wiley. Nice debut victory at Ellis Park. We've seen so many nice horses debut at Ellis through the years and turn into graded stakes winners and even go through Ellis Park in order to prepare for the bigger races on down the line. And obviously they've got a fantastic stakes program as well. But here's a filly that is a good price, 14-1 on the board. And then let's go over to the 10 horse. She's taking some play as we close in on post time. She was at 1.5-1. That Spanish Love Affair. She's a lovely filly by Caraconti. As mentioned, she's got quite the pedigree on her as well, being half to the Grade 1 winner of the American Oak Spanish Queen. Outside draw, we'll see what Gaffalione does. You've got to think that she'll sit forward. This turf course, we saw a track record performance at 1.5 miles earlier today. That was a wire-to-wire victory. I think that you're going to want to be sitting close, and this filly can take you close if need be, and I think that she has to sit close to the pace. I think that she's sitting on go here today. She's my top play at odds of 3-1. It is the feature, the Grade 2 J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. Just 1 minute to post.
Horses have reached the starting gate for Keeneland 7th and featured race, 30th running of the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes, a Grade 2, a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. They are at the post. They're off in the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. There goes Aunt Pearl right out for the lead. Navratilova right there alongside. And then comes Spanish Love Affair as the field heads for the first turn. Taylor's Tourist going to back down to the inside in the 4th position. Meanwhile, Aunt Pearl and Florent Giroux to the front heading into the turn. It is Aunt Pearl who gets down to the rail to save ground around the turn, leading Navratilova, who will follow suit in that 2nd position, separated by 1.5 lengths, 2 lengths now, the top 2. Taylor's Tourist 3rd. Spanish Love Affair is in 4th. Gambling Cat is 5th, caught 3 wide, moving off the first turn and onto the backstretch. Momentous Miss is 6th. Arm Candy moves by from 7th. Lazy Summer Day is 8th. INGRASSIA 9th. Battaglia 10th. And Beautiful Star last of 11. Opening quarter on the board in 22.28 seconds. Aunt Pearl is the leader. Aunt Pearl, plenty of pace up front, leads at a length. Navratilova now just off her flank, and Navratilova starts to inch forward toward the outside. Spanish Love Affair moves into contention 3rd. 46.65 seconds for that opening half mile. Into the far turn they go. Aunt Pearl, the leader, by only a half length. And Navratilova, Spanish Love Affair, Gambling Cat, who angles wide in 4th, 3 lengths off the lead. Taylor's Tourist looking for running room in 5th down toward the inside. INGRASSIA has to go wide from 6th, 8 lengths from the front. Aunt Pearl is at the quarter pole, leading Spanish Love Affair and Navratilova. Aunt Pearl chased by Spanish Love Affair, coming to the final furlong of the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. INGRASSIA goes to 3rd. Aunt Pearl opening up by 3 lengths, 3.5, 4 lengths clear of Spanish Love Affair. It is Aunt Pearl backs up that stellar debut with a victory in the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine for Florent Giroux. Spanish Love Affair was home 2nd, and then INGRASSIA got 3rd in a time of 1 minute 40.86 seconds, a performance that shatters the stakes record.
Well, this division just put on alert here as far as the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf Division is concerned, following AINT Pearl's smashing win in the Grade 2 J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. She never gave them an opportunity. She showed speed early. She was quick middle, and she finished up strong late. Well done. This filly certainly looks as though she'll be one of the favorites come a month's time on Future Stars Friday. AINT Pearl dominant in the Jessamine.
Unofficial results of Keeneland's featured 7th race. 7 AINT Pearl was first. 10 Spanish Love Affair was second. 5 INGRASSIA third. 6 Arm Candy was fourth. And 1 Batalla was fifth. 7-10, 5-6-1. Unofficial. Results of the featured 7th race official, 7-10, 5-6-1. The official results. Entering today's card, the stakes record for the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes had been 1 minute 42.21 seconds. That goes by the wayside, courtesy of number 7, AINT Pearl. Official winner of today's feature. AINT Pearl, owned by Madaket Stables LLC of Saul Kuman and Jason Monteleone, owned also by Michael Dubb, Michael Kisber, Peter Deutsch, and the Elkstone Group LLC of Stuart Grant, trained by Brad Cox and ridden by Florent Giroux. It's 2-year-old filly by Lope de Vega out of Matare Pearl, by Hurricane Run, bred in Ireland by Ecureuil de Charme, and Ballylynch Stud gets a mile and a 16th in 1 minute 40.86 seconds and knocks well over a full second off the stakes record. Results are official. Trophy presentation coming up. And now the trophy presentation for the J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine, a Grade 2 and a win-in-your-end Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf Division race. Presenting the trophy on behalf of J.P. Morgan Chase, Mr. Paul Costell, Kentucky Region Manager, and Mr. Kevin Sutphin, Executive Director. They present to the connections of number 7, AINT Pearl.
The J.P. Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes goes to AINT Pearl, and Florent Giroux was aboard. There was very little drama to that race, Flo. She took it to him from the get-go. How would you describe the journey?
Fast, actually. Faster I thought. I was going to, looking at the sectional fraction, I just thought, we're going much slower than that, but I guess she has short legs, but they move very fast for sure, and very impressed with her, and we always loved her, from the beginning. We thought, she was a very nice filly, and I had to make her work a little bit today down the stretch. I thought her first race she didn't get nothing out of it. That was pretty much on cruise control all the time, and if we want to be a factor in a Breeders' Cup, she needed to do a little something today, and she was very impressive, and I'm very pleased with her.
Job well done. A nice win with AINT Pearl. Brad, we knew she was a nice filly after her debut. Did you realize that she was this kind of nice?
We were obviously hoping. She showed us a lot of talent of the mornings, and I told someone after the race there, I said, that's the first time we've ever cut her loose. She's very gifted. Obviously she's got a lot of natural speed, and 46 and change to carry speed 2 turns like that, second start of her life. I mean, she's obviously very special. So it was a big effort.
Can she take a step forward?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think so. She's been here for like 3 days. She's settled in extremely well. We schooled her a couple times. We just try to, keep her busy. She's a filly with a lot of energy, and, our team's done a very, very good job of managing her over the time we've had her. So I'm very proud of her, and congratulations to the connections.
Well done. Brad Cox,
Thanks.
winning conditioner AINT Pearl. We'll see her take on the world on Future Stars Friday in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf.
Keeneland's 8th and final race upcoming. A reminder, scratch the 2 Vetter, scratch the 5 Catholic Gilt, also scratch 12 Newscaster, and scratch 13 Kickin' Kirby. Change of equipment, the 11 Englander bar shoe right front. Carryover for the Super High 5 jackpot, just over $600.
Keeneland will close out this Wednesday afternoon card with a maiden 30, 3 and up, 6.5 furlongs the distance. A pretty key scratch in here. Take out the number 2 horse Vetter, as well as the 5 horse in 12 and 13. The current choice is the Asmussen horse. That's long-term thinking, who I've got second up on my selections. I started with the 1 Fugitive for Mike Maker. Maker looking for another victory here today. A third victory for the Maker barn would come way of Fugitive. The drop in class is very difficult to ignore. Not an ideal post position draw in a sprint. I don't care who you are. You'd rather be one off the rail versus down on the inside. But today is the day for Fugitive to break through and pick up that elusive victory, in which he's run some good races in the past, but drops in for 30 here today. I think it's going to happen. And you got Tyler Gaffalione, who's also looking for another win alongside his third win, along with Mike Maker, as the previous 2 came with Mike. So Fugitive 5-2, not a bad price with this runner. The second choice for me is the current favorite. That's long-term thinking. Has been up at Saratoga off of that claim back on the 3rd of September. Was second that day. This Ridgeling is yet to run a bad race. He broke his maiden on debut at Monmouth Park when he was with Chad Brown. A couple of seconds. Then they dropped him in for 20, and that was the day in which he was taken for 20,000 by Clark Brewster. Here's a horse, outside draw. That's the advantage that he has. Certainly he's got some ability, especially when running for 30 here this afternoon. So you've got to respect him in a big way, as most are, as he sits at 8-5. And then finally, I'll go to the 9 as the price play in third selection. That's Epic Adventure. Wayne Catalano trains a lot of horses for Gary and Mary West, and he just puts them where they can win. That's the bottom line. They do not mess around, and this is a colt that certainly would have had higher expectations coming into his career, but debuts for 30 here today. You've got Julian Le Peru. You've got a recent 3-furlong bullet in 34-4 and some gate workouts prior. No reason to think that this colt can't bounce back or bounce forward right off of the debut, or right in the debut, as he gets ready for said initial start of his career. He's 7-1 on the board. But this race is going to be played primarily as a 2-3 horse race. You've got Englander as well getting some attention for Phil D'Amato. You've got to respect the attention he's getting, considering we haven't seen him since January of 2019. So it's been a long time since the now 5-year-old son of English Channel has competed. And could this be a jumping off point? I would say yes. He's shown speed in the past, but that was down the hill. But we'll see if Englander continues to get respect as he does at 7-2. But I've got it 1-8-9 in the nightcap as we're 11 minutes away.
Horses are entering the track for Keeneland's 8th and final race, a maiden claiming race, 3-year-olds and up, with a claiming price of $30,000, 6.5 furlongs over the fast main track. Scratch the 2 Vetter, also scratch the 5 Catholic Gilt, scratch 12 Newscaster, and scratch 13 Kickin' Kirby. Change of equipment, the 11 Englander, bar shoe right front. Post time in less than 3 minutes.
Just 1 minute away now from the nightcap as we get a look at the one horse. That's Fugitive, the second choice at 7-2. Gets the opportunity here today as he takes the drop down in class. We'll see how he fares on that drop. Let's go over to the number 6 horse, American Humor. He's a solid-looking runner. This is a gelding who has been gelded since his last race. He looks quick. Don't be surprised if he's got more speed than what he's shown in the past. And then finally, let's go to Groovy Lemon Pie. He came charging out of the tunnel for the post parade and was revved up. This is the second time this has happened to Florent Giroux here this afternoon. He's a price of 24-1. We'll see if he has settled down, and he has, still messing with the pony. We're closing in on post time for the nightcap.
The horses have reached the starting gate for Keeneland's 8th and final race. They are at the post. They're off. Fugitive from the inside, Paint I Ain't between horses. Groovy Lemon Pie moves up on the far outside. Fugitive scoots up the rail, has the early lead. Groovy Lemon Pie goes second out in the center of the track. Monkey Zone is running in third between horses, now settles back down toward the inside. Here comes a move from Englander to the outside of that one. Fourth, American Humor, and tight down toward the rail, had to back off in fifth, followed by Long Term Thinking, who's toward the outside in sixth, running 7 lengths off the lead. Epic Adventure is in the 7th position, then a gap of 2 more to Carrier Pigeon. Next to last, Paint I Ain't is now the trailer. 22.58 seconds was the time for the opening quarter. Groovy Lemon Pie tries to draw alongside of Fugitive. Fugitive has the lead, though, by a half length. Groovy Lemon Pie second by 5 lengths. Englander third. Long-Term Thinking is fourth at the quarter pole. Has to look to the far outside. 6 lengths from the front. Groovy Lemon Pie has a short lead. Fugitive fights on second. Gap of 3 more lengths back to Long-Term Thinking in third. Englander fourth. Here's Fugitive coming back up the rail. Groovy Lemon Pie, then Long-Term Thinking. And Long-Term Thinking strides forward, trying to catch Groovy Lemon Pie. Running out of time to do it. Long-Term Thinking is second. Groovy Lemon Pie to win it. Florent Giroux back to close today's card.
This colt was revved up coming out onto the track, and boy, was he ever on the racetrack during the race. Groovy Lemon Pie, credit to the one, Fugitive. He fought gamely down on the inside, but just started to tire enough to allow the 10 to take the advantage. The 8 trying to close. That's Long-Term Thinking, but at a price, it is Groovy Lemon Pie, 26-1. Congratulations out to Florent Giroux, and what a job by Bob Hess Jr. getting this horse ready off of a 9-month layoff.
Unofficial results of Keeneland's 8th and final race. 10, Groovy Lemon Pie was first. 8, Long-Term Thinking was second. 1, Fugitive was third. 11, Englander fourth. 6, American Humor fifth. 10, 8, 1, 11, 6, unofficial. In the winner's circle for Keeneland's 8th race, the unofficial winner, 10, Groovy Lemon Pie, owned by Steve McCann, trained by Bob Hess Jr., Florent Giroux. goes back-to-back to close things here in Central Kentucky this afternoon. Groovy Lemon Pie, a 3-year-old son of Central Banker out of Speculative Bubble by Sky Mesa, bred in Florida by Farfellow Farms Limited. 6.5 furlongs, fast main track, 1 minute 18.13 seconds. Results are official. 10-8-1, 11-6, the official results. No perfect tickets in the Pick 6 today. There is a consolation 5 of 6. There will be a carryover for tomorrow's card in excess of $27,000. Late Pick 5 pays on 5 of 5 with a consolation 4 of 5. And there will be a super high 5 jackpot carryover for tomorrow's program for $2,725. A reminder, with the conclusion of today's Keeneland races, simulcast wagering will be ending and the mutual windows closing. If you plan to wager on any remaining races for today, please do so at this time, and we thank you. Again, a carryover for the Pick 6 tomorrow, $27,993. For now, on behalf of Keeneland, also for J.P. Morgan Chase, thank you and good evening.
Well, it certainly was an exciting day of racing here at Keeneland Racecourse, and it was exciting because we had a lot of exciting finishes as well. Some close finishes to keep the excitement going throughout the afternoon, and of course, a sensational winner in Aunt Pearl, taking the Grade 2 JP Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. She went on to win impressively there, shattering the course record, the stakes record, excuse me, Aunt Pearl getting the victory in the Grade 2 JP Morgan Chase Jessamine Stakes. It's onwards to the Breeders' Cup, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. That was a win and you're in for trainer Brad Cox, Florent Giroux in the saddle as well. That was just one of the many highlights on this Wednesday program. We will be back tomorrow afternoon with the first post time at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. 10 races on tap. We hope to see you then.
And you're up.